know what is what.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is Night of the Living Dead.
I had to fucking watch this movie twice because the first time that I watched it was on Friday night.
You're too high on it.
Yeah, I was in a fuck it mode, so
Stutter Cane.
I both drank an entire can. And
Each? You each had a whole can? Damn.
Wow.
How was that?
I mean,
did you go into the book?
Nah, I completely forgot what the movie was about, so I had to rewatch it again today.
I feel it. All right, let's get into it. We are Cult of the Living Dead. We are a movie podcast. We cover anything from cult classics, B movies, and horror. Try to stray away from blockbusters, but the point of the pod is to keep it subjective. There's a lot of our personal views of how we feel on these movies. We are not academically trained in movie cinema, and enjoy the ride. Today we are covering In the Mouth of Madness. I am the Dale, followed by my other co-host, Saya.
Do you read Stutter Cane?
And Twan.
What's up?
I have never seen this movie, so this is my first viewing. What about you guys? Do you guys have any prior experience with this movie?
Yeah,
I do not.
I've seen it a couple times.
All right, so Saya's seen it a few times. So Twan, It was the first for you and me.
Yep.
I didn't realize this was a John Carpenter movie.
Yep.
So for those of you not familiar with John Carpenter, he did Halloween, The Thing. Those are his probably two most popular franchises. Correct me if I'm wrong. What else did he do that was really big?
Escape from New York.
Oh, he did do Escape from New York, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one too.
And he did a bunch of other like side movies like The Fog, Christine, Prince of Darkness, Big Trouble, Little China, They Live.
You did Big Trouble in Little China?
Mm-hmm.
We got to cover that movie. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
All right.
He also did a Season of the Witch, Halloween 3.
Yep.
No, he didn't do Season of the Witch. He just produced it.
He was a producer in it. The guy that wrote this movie, Michael De Luca, also co-wrote Judge Dredd, the 1995 movie with Sylvester Stallone.
That's Stallone, picking up on our Stallone talk.
Yep. And then the music is done by John Carpenter, and then he also did it in conjunction with Jim Lang. This was Jim Lang's 7th movie that he composed music for, but he would eventually go on to do 100 episodes of Hey Arnold.
Oh yeah, I saw that when I was looking up Jim Lang. I was like, what do you do? Hey Arnold's the first thing. I was like, I fucking love Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
That's cool. 100 episodes?
Yep.
That's got to be most of the show.
I feel like that's most. I don't know how many episodes there were, but yeah.
No, I felt like it was most of my childhood. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Same.
All right, who else is in this movie? So this movie stars Sam Neill, Dr. Grant himself from Jurassic Park, playing John Trent. And then we have Julie Carmen as Linda Stiles. I'm not too familiar with Julie Carmen's work. I looked up some other movies she was in. She was in Fright Night 2, but I haven't seen much of the stuff she's in. It doesn't look like she did much else after this movie. And then we have Jürgen Prochnow as Sutter Cane. Jürgen Prochnow. He was in Air Force One. Probably his best movie was Das Boot. That's a really good movie. And what else was he in?
He was also in Dune.
He was in Judge Dredd. Oh yeah, he was in Dune.
He was Duke Leo Atreides.
He was Duke Leo, huh? And then who else is in this movie?
David Warner.
Warner as Dr. Wren.
Dr. Wren, who's also he starred in Batman Beyond and Batman the Animated Series as Ra's al Ghul's voice.
Oh, cool.
He was also in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon as Red Skull.
Red Skull and Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember him.
They had a couple episodes.
I do remember Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
And then we have John Grover as Saperstein. I guess he isn't a doctor, but he's dressed like a doctor in this movie. And then I didn't realize this until after, but freaking Charleston Heston is Jackson Harglow. That's crazy. Charleston Heston's the shit, man. Freaking Planet of the Apes.
Yep. Planet of the Apes, Ben-Hur, all those classic movies from the early mid 60s, late 50s.
Yeah, to early to mid 70s. Yeah. Charleston Heston's dope.
And John Glover, who's Saperstein, he was in the 1997 George Clooney Batman and Robin. He's the guy who invents Bane, and then he gets killed by Poison Ivy.
That's right. He is the Bane doctor. That's right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what did you guys think of the movie? First impressions. We could go into our full on rating at the end. But first impressions, what did you guys think?
It's a wild movie. There was a lot going on. Real cosmic horror type stuff. I love me a good cosmic horror story. And yeah, just Banger.
What'd you think, Twan?
I mean, it was an okay movie. There was some elements in it that I wish we got to see a little bit more of, but overall, it was enjoyable.
I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty cool. Like you were saying, Twan, it did have some things I was just kind of like, this is okay. But I think what kind of helped me was that I saw the like trailer before I watched it, trying to figure out if my partner wanted to watch it with me or not. And through the trailer, I was like, oh, what is this movie about? I was not expecting this to be like what it looked like. So like I went to it like a little hesitant, like, is this gonna be like another like cheesy horror movie? But I thought it was better than my first impression was. But we'll get into it more in detail. All right, let's start it off. Let's start working our way through the movie. So I really like the opening sequence of this movie where they're showing the printing of the book In the Mouth of Madness. And you have this like metal song going in the background. And it's cool because I felt like some of the machinery of like the printing factory, like hammering down and doing certain things kind of synced well with the music. I thought that opening credit scene was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it had your typical fucking 80s hair metal intro. I mean, it's not my type of music, so I was a little thrown off by it at first. I was like, what the fuck is John Carpenter doing with this? But I mean,
hey man, Carpenter likes to rock, right?
Yeah, that dude's a rocker. You can tell.
Yeah, it's definitely not that classic Carpenter synth.
Yeah, he didn't have much synth in this.
Yeah, but I
wonder if that was a Carpenter thing or if that was a Jim Lang thing. Right? Because you do hear moments of the synth like later on in the movie, but it's way more dialed back than I think most of his movies are.
Yeah, and I think this was also later in Carpenter's like career. This was after his big, Halloween and all that stuff. This was like in the early 90s, so he was kind of dying down a little bit more during this time. Like this wasn't one of his this wasn't a commercial success. But maybe though he was just trying. He was experimenting some different stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he wanted a different film. Maybe that's why he brought in Jim Lang. Maybe he thought the Sid stuff was too much. So after that, what I thought was a pretty cool like credit roll scene, we get introduced to Sam Neill as he's being brought into a mental institution, a loony asylum, if you will. And I thought this was pretty cool because I didn't expect it to start off at the end, so to speak, right? So you it stars Sam Neill, right? You're like, okay, cool, especially since I saw the trailer. And then you see him being brought in an insane asylum, and he looks like disheveled. Like he looks like he's been through it, like he has seen some shit. And I thought that was pretty cool. I like this. I like when they drag him in. That you meet Saperstein. They throw him in his cell, and right off the bat, dude just starts like hallucinating shit. And I thought the use of scares to build up the creepy factor was cool here because later on in the movie it's more in your face, but like that subtle knock on the window that kind of gets your attention. It just like kind of creepily like floats into screen, knocks, and then you see like that shadow of the man walk behind him. I thought this scene was pretty cool. It did a good job of like hooking me into the movie. I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be one of these type of movies. Like, oh, okay. I didn't know what to think about this movie about like a deadly book. What'd you guys think of that introduction to John Trent, Mr. Sam Neill?
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. Sam Neill, like, he nearly single-handedly took out 2 of the psych ward guards.
Orderlies.
Orderlies, yeah. And then, when they throw him in and he's screaming about how he's not insane, I thought it was cool that all the people in the ward also started getting all riled up, all saying that they're not insane, just screaming it. Just shows you like, I guess how insane everyone actually is in there.
Yeah.
But yeah. The hand part, that was a nice little jump scare with the breaking of the glass and the hallucination and everything. It was I'm gonna mention something a little later, but it was a good intro. I like those movies, the beginning to the end type things. It's more of like, damn, how did he get in this position? It was cool.
I thought it was funny that they draw attention to John hitting one of the orderlies in the balls. Like when they throw him in the cell, he's like, "Sorry for your balls."
That's right. That was funny.
Like they had to bring that to it. Like that was one point that they had to throw in. They were like, you know what? We're gonna make him hit his balls, and you need to say that he hit his balls. That's how fucking crazy he is. He's just out here hitting balls.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That's a good point too, Twan, that you brought up. That when he's like, "I'm not insane." That part got a good chuckle. Everyone's like, "Yeah, me too." I thought that that setting looked pretty familiar, and I guess they've used that location. I guess it's like a water district of
Water treatment.
water treatment facility. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like that's a creepy ass water treatment facility, dude. And those cells, man, like terrible. It's just a mat on the floor and like a toilet. There's like not even a bed frame.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, what kind of low budget like mental institution is this? Yeah, dudes just sleeping on a cot on the floor. Like, my God.
I mean, it's padded room. It's what more can you ask for when you're insane?
I mean, if you have a padded room, do you even need like a mattress? Isn't it just one big mattress?
Well, the walls were padded, but the floor was still concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
But also, you could hurt yourself on the toilet. So doesn't having the toilet in there defeat?
Oh, he didn't have a toilet. Didn't he just have a
purpose?
bucket?
Either way,
I thought it was just like a
it wasn't
bucket,
fully padded.
like a pail.
He could still potentially hurt himself.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, plastic can be pretty sharp. So
then
we get
another thing.
Oh,
sorry. Another thing that
I
I thought was pretty cool. Well, not pretty cool. I mean, it was a nice little touch. Was when they're all going all crazy, shouting that they're not insane. The doctor, he turns on the what do you call it? The instrumentals to that song "We've Only Just Begun."
Oh, that was cool.
And then they all start singing it. It's just like, damn, this is a fucking insane asylum. They're just keeping them crazy in there.
And then I like how Trent's like reaction. He has like a moment of realization. He's like, hey, what? He's like, oh, it's this song? Damn it. And he's just like, oh. I thought that was pretty cool. He's like, that's like the kind of like hit him like, oh, this is I'm in it now.
And it kind of sets like the movie. Like
it does, like a little foreshadowing.
We're just starting. This shit is just starting.
And then after that, he gets interviewed by did you guys write down the guy's name?
Yeah, by Dr. Wren.
Oh yeah, that was Dr. Wren. That's right. Dr. Wren shows up. And I thought it was pretty cool because Dr. Wren's talking to Saperstein and he's like, did he have any requests? He's like, yeah, he just asked for one black crayon. And then he opens the door and and there's just like black crosses everywhere, like all over him, all over the room, all on his face, like all on his clothes. Like he looks like a fucking maniac.
But he turns around as soon as Dr. Wren enters the room and he looks at him. He's like, what's up? just so casual, looking like a fucking maniac, just being so gentle. What's up?
I mean, as you get to learn Trent, like he's a pretty cool guy. Like he's pretty collected. He's pretty like sure of himself. All right, so then Wren comes in and he sits down and he talks with Trent, with John Trent, and he's asking him like what happened, like what's going on. And it's cool too because shit's going on because Saperstein was talking to Wren. He's like, oh, he's one of them, like, oh, is it getting worse out there? So like there's something going on in the outside world, and it's like, okay, like how does Trent how does he kind of relate to like what's going on? How is he going to be tied into this like kind of background noise? Because there's something happening, but we don't quite know what it is yet. Yeah. And he starts to relay his story, and we learn that Trent was an insurance investigator, a freelance, and we get to see him doing his job when he's working with who is it, Mr. Robinson? I guess he's like the insurance company he's freelancing for right now. And he kind of like gets that dude to admit that he's trying to do like a fraud scheme. And that's what Robinson was like, hey man, like you're really good, you're a natural. They're having lunch talking about like how good he is at his job, and then Trent gets attacked by an axe wielding man who what does he hit him with, Swear? What does he ask him?
Do you read Stutter Cane?
So at this part of the movie, I was like, okay, this is kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
I mean, when you come to find out who that guy was, and in a little bit, it makes sense. But I mean, it's a pretty crazy scene. Just some dude walking across this main street, busy ass New York, wielding an axe. Like, it kind of, I don't know, played into the whole like just madness. These people are fucking going mad. People are crazy.
I do like that scene because it's not in the forefront. The forefront is them having a conversation, and then you just see in the background him walking towards them with an axe. It kind of reminded me like of It Follows, where you see like characters interacting in the front, and then in the background you see like someone walking up towards them. I really like those type of scenes where it's like casual stuff that's happening, but something's about to pop off. And I did think it was kind of cheesy though when he swings the axe through the glass window, and it looks like instead of like the axe going clean through, because I mean an axe should be stronger than glass, he gets some it looks like the glass like stops him from swinging all the way through a little bit because the glass was, I don't know, really thick. I just thought that was kind of a funny detail that happened in that scene.
Yeah, I noticed that like he didn't wasn't able to completely like swing all the way through. Like with the follow through, you think like, oh, he should have hit that dude. But
yeah, he should have gone through that completely, but he didn't. I think he wanted to stop so you can ask him if he read Stutter Cane.
I mean, I think so. Like everything about that scene, I thought was really cool because it does kind of like introduce like the main like focal point of like the movie itself, like finding Stutter Cane and like how he's attached to it, because they're like, oh, the publishing company's like they're trying to claim out like this like $1 million claim because this dude like disappeared. He's like check it out for me. I think there's something fishy going on. And then like you said, like the camera work was really cool. I just thought the line where he's like, "Do you read Stutter Cane?" I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of ruined the scene for me a little bit. But then he gets like fucking lit up by the cops. Like they lit that dude up.
Second movie in a row where the cops are trigger happy. They just start blasting.
Whoa. We're not talking bad on New York's finest here, buddy.
Was that New York? Oh, yeah, that was New York.
I'm just pointing it out.
No, I was just kidding.
Two movies from the early 90s where the cops are just blasting.
It's horror movies, bro. Just
oh, and it's Sutter Cane, not Stutter Cane.
Oh yeah, Sutter Cane. My bad.
Do you
Sutter
read
Cane?
Sutter Cane?
Apparently not. I read Stutter Cane. He read smut stuff. It's more my cup of tea.
What do you guys think about the dual pupils?
The dual pupils.
I forgot that was a thing until it zooms in on his face after he says that, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this now. And it's kind of
I didn't recognize it. Well, what happened?
When it zooms in on his face, his eyeballs look like there's
two pupils.
Two pupils in both eyes.
Huh? I didn't see that.
So
I gotta rewatch the scene.
You gotta get a new prescription on your fucking glasses, bro.
Yeah,
I got it, dude. It's this UV. It's this like blue light filter. It just filters out the pupils.
Just watching movies with people with no pupils the whole time.
Yeah, something like that. And I think it's crazy too. So after this happens, he's like, "Oh wow, that was crazy." And then we later see him kind of like shrug it off. He's like, "Whatever's." And then he goes and meets the actual, the publishing company. So he meets Charleston Heston's character,
Jackson Harglow.
Jackson Harglow. And then we find out that Sutter Cane is bigger than Stephen King. I heard that Carpenter like based Sutter Cane off of like Stephen King. I guess they're like good friends in like real life. So I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, like based a character off your homie. And then that he's $1 billion franchise. $1 billion franchise. And when was this movie come out? In 1994?
In the 90s?
Damn. That's big time.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's like J.K. Rowling big.
Yeah, I mean, they said that it got published in 18 different languages.
That's true. They said it outsold the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was there? So then this is where we come with what?
Wait a minute, can you outsell the Bible?
Yeah,
That's
bro.
what it said. It said it was outselling the Bible.
Yeah.
I mean longevity alone.
Yeah, that's true.
The Bible's been out for how long now? Bible's number one seller all time.
Yeah, wow, but the Catholic Church didn't like the peasants to know how to read. I'm not big pro peasant. So
what? Wait. How does that tie into sales?
Wait, you think they were selling Bibles back then?
Yeah,
or
dude,
just handing them out?
Oh, I don't know. The Catholic Church has to get paid, dude.
That's true, but that's with tithings.
They're like tithings and they're like little boys. Too consistent in the Catholic Church. What? That's gonna be the cold open.
They like tithings and little boys.
Welcome to Cold to Living Dead. Oh yeah, gotta go viral, bro. All right, so then fucking, oh man, I said the F word too many times in the last episode. So they after that the investigation kind of begins, and John Trent. This is where he's teaming up with
Linda Stiles,
who's the editor of Sutter Cane. She's edited all his work. And this is where they head out to find, what are they looking for?
The town. They're looking for the town, right?
No,
right.
Hobbs,
well, not yet.
No, it's before.
This is before. Yeah. This is when she tells him like maybe you should try reading the books. They've been known to like make people hallucinate or something like that. Like some people have like very like adverse reactions to his books. And then this is something that I thought was interesting. So this is when he gets the book, right? And he starts going down that same like walkway home, and he keeps coming across this like ripped poster, and he constantly like checks it, but we don't know what he's looking at. And this whole time he was checking, I'm like, is this like covering a window? And he's just like looking into the window or something. Like what is it? The reveal for that later on is I thought was pretty cool. Then he gets the books and he does start like tripping out. He starts having like hallucinations. Whenever he sees that cop like constantly beating that tagger, and he gets like progressively more grotesque.
Yeah.
Then he gets like attacked by a mob of axe wielding people.
I think we overlooked one small detail when he's in the store, and he's picking up the book, and that one person with the glasses comes up, and he's like, he sees you. He sees you. That was, I feel like that was pretty important. It's like kind of like showing that Sutter Cane is around, or he's like, I don't know, living through these people. He obviously sees him.
He's like hiding in the background with like a book, just like leaning over.
It is. That is true, right? Yeah, because it is kind of like, it's almost like he has a cult, right? Like he's like this omnipresent like leader. The way that they talk about how people just like get like thirsty for his fucking material. And then like the reaction it has, right? Because he start to hallucinate all these shits, and you have all these weirdos kind of like following him around. And then and then I don't understand how he figured it out, but he starts cutting out all the like pieces of the title pages of all these books, and he puts them all together, and it makes out like a part of New Hampshire.
It makes the whole New Hampshire, and it all like connects into this one point that he believes is Hobbs End, and it's fucking crazy. He does what like Charlie Day does when in Always Sunny, when he's trying to map out who Pepe Silva is. He literally Pepe Silva's these books into finding this fucking mythical city.
The crazy part, the funny part though, is that like it looks like he's randomly cutting, and then they just all fit together like mad perfect, dude. It's just like perfect.
Maybe that was like to showcase like this dude's fucking insane, because he just started cutting up a book or all these books in a way that perfectly like mapped out New Hampshire. Like this dude's a fucking maniac. Like
Yeah.
he's just like, how did he know where to cut?
Yeah. And all that happened after he read all the books. I think he read all the books, right? He like
Yeah, he
does
did
one
read all the
sitting.
books. This dude just like lightning round him.
He powers through all of the books, and then he goes crazy and creates a map of New Hampshire.
He's like the chick from Mad TV with the cheese. And she just starts biting little pieces out of it to make the states. You never seen that bit?
Nah.
Oh, she starts like a talent show. She starts nibbling like craft singles. It's like New Mexico, but she just like bit a corner off the cheese. Like Arkansas. Oh, that's a good bit, dude. Mad TV had some funny bits. But yeah, that shit was fucking random, dude. So like when he was like ripping them out, initially I thought like, oh, okay. Like all the like images are gonna come together and it's gonna be like one big image. And then he
Right.
just started cutting it at it, and I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then it makes New Hampshire. And I was like, dang, okay.
Yeah, because
All
like
right.
I even thought like, okay, they're all going to be pointing in like to one centralized direction or something. But then when they pan out and they show it on the table in the in the editor's office, it's just like a whole bunch of nothing. Like there's no image whatsoever. And then he puts that like clear map over it. He's like, there it is, New Hampshire.
Yeah, it was just random. It was so random. Like, or like maybe like all the like titles spelled out something like I am Lord Voldemort or some bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's like, nah, nothing happens. It's just like, oh, this is New Hampshire. Like, dude, you could have done that with anything.
And why weren't the people in the office like, yo, this guy, he just came up, ripped up all these fucking title pages and said we have to go to New Hampshire?
Like New Hampshire, in the center of New Hampshire right here is Hobbs End. It's like the only words you could read. You're like, oh, they're like, okay. Well, they do kind of do that, right? Because like he's talking to Jackson and to Miss Styles, and they're like, there's nothing there. What are you talking about? There is no town in that location. There's literally nothing around there. He's like, well, we're gonna go check it out. Maybe it's on an old map or something. You don't know.
True.
And then that's when there's like, all right, Styles, go with it. I thought this like, so there were moments in this movie where I'm like, okay, this movie's pretty cool. I kind of like the story. I think it's cool. It's a little bit more interesting than I thought. But then there's like these types of moments where it starts to lose me a bit, where it's just like, okay, like, I guess maybe nowadays people have gotten better at like making horror movies without like nonsensical stuff. Cause in my head, I'm like, why would the editor just leave her job at this multi-million-dollar fucking multi-million-dollar company? Like, I'm pretty sure she just doesn't edit Sutter Cane, right? Like, she's just gonna leave and go on this mission to find this dude. I thought, like, I was like, all right, that's kind of dumb.
She was in charge of Sutter Cane, so I think that he was like her only focus.
I guess he was her only contact, huh?
Yeah.
I guess because he was such a big fish that she had his own editor.
Yeah.
That's true. So what'd you guys think of, all right, so they take off, right? And they're going to go to Hobbs End. What did you think of the like car ride?
I think at one point, cause John is driving, but then he gets sleepy. And so, Linda starts driving and she starts tripping out during this drive. I think she hits a guy, right?
She hits a kid on a bike. And then when cause the kid's like a teenager, he's riding a bike and he's got like the playing cards on the wheel. So it makes like the noise when he pedals. She hits him. And then when they go to help him, he turns into like an old man, doesn't he?
Well,
or does he become the old man after he gets hit?
What happens is they're driving along. Well, she's driving, and then she sees the kid. He's going in the same direction as they are.
That's right.
And then she keeps driving, and then it shows him like kind of fade to black behind, in the rearview mirror. And then she keeps driving, and then she sees the old version pedaling against them, so going the opposite direction. And then she kind of like looks away and it's like freaking out, and then looks down and then looks back up, and then it's the old version again coming straight for the car, and then
That's who she hits, right?
Yeah, she hits him.
That was trippy. The special effects were dumb as shit. I thought it reminded me of fucking Jackass. I was like, there's some Jackass prosthetics on this old man right now, dude.
Yeah, they made this young kid look like an old guy. I thought though it was kind of funny that after she hits this guy, John goes back to sleep.
Yeah, like he wakes up and he's like, "What happened?" And like they go to help him, and he's like, "Oh, don't move him. I'm gonna grab a blanket." Like, what is that gonna do?
keep him warm.
Might be cold, bro.
Yeah. And he gets up and he drives away, and he's like, "Oh, he was all right. Oh, okay. I guess he was all right. This is mosey on out of here." But I thought it was cool because that was creepy because you're like, "Oh, dang, she's like hallucinating," and then also I don't remember if this is before or after she hits him, but she like looks at the floor, and the paint, the lanes start disappearing, and then
after, yeah,
that was after, right? Like it gets progressively worse. And I like after she hit the kid, because we know it was a kid turned into an old man. She's like, "He won't let me leave." And then as the audience, you're like, "Oh shit, okay, so there is something going on here," because like he's the kid's like he's trying to escape, and in my mind, I'm like, so has he been trying to escape for so long that he turned into an old man?
Maybe,
or
he's just stuck in a time loop.
Well, because right, because he's just going up and down that highway constantly.
Yeah.
So then she takes off. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys caught this. It happened during the conversation that they were having in the car ride. Linda kind of mentions she's talking about I forgot what exactly she's talking about, but she's like telling Sam Neill or John Trent, like, imagine like being alone at the end of the world in a padded room all by yourself. I was like, oh shit, a little bit of foreshadowing.
He does tell him that. This movie does a lot of foreshadowing.
It does.
It does do a lot of foreshadowing. The dialogue is pretty cool at times. And then it's cheesy.
Yeah.
And then they keep on driving. Yeah. Then the lanes start to disappear, and then she's like driving like on top of a storm, and then all of us. That was cool. That looks cool. I was like, oh shit! Like she's like big time tripping, and I thought this was cool because I was like, okay, so Sam Neill is like gonna be like the focal point. It's like a John Carpenter movie, so like in my head, I was like, oh, they're gonna be fighting some form of something. Right? It's gonna be like slasher-esque, or maybe like The Thing. Maybe it'll be like a creature feature or something.
Yeah.
But the like the the constant like hallucinations, and that I didn't expect that in this movie. I didn't expect it to be like this type of like, I don't know, what is that, cosmic horror, demonic horror? I don't know.
Lovecraftian.
Yeah, like it ultimately is like Lovecraftian, but yeah, like that was cool. And then I like how like they hit the bridge, and then it's like daytime. Like it was pitch black the entire time they were driving, and then boom, it just turns to day right when they get to the welcome to like Hobbs End sign.
Well, the bridge was the portal.
The bridge was the portal.
Bridge was the portal into Hobbs End.
It was the gateway to Hobbs End.
Stargate, if you will.
And then Sam Neill wakes from his nap.
That was funny. He's like, "Oh, I must have slept all night."
Meanwhile, Linda's over there tripping fucking balls.
Yeah, like she looks like she went through some shit, and he's like, "You all right?" And she's like, "You drive." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then they get to the hotel. Oh no. Then they're walking around, and you see like these kids like, these kids like chasing a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, why are these kids chasing a dog all over the place? And the town's kind of quiet. There's like kind of nothing going on. Got like these small town vibes. But then they get to the hotel. Yeah, I heard the town was like loosely trying to like resemble, what's the town that's always in like the Stephen King one?
Derry?
Not Derry. There's some It's when they made that Hulu show that was like about a bunch of King
Castle
properties.
Rock?
Yeah, Castle Rock. I think Castle Rock's in The Sting, right?
I don't remember.
I don't know, but Castle Rock's like, I don't know, it comes up a lot. So I guess Carpenter supposedly was trying to do like that kind of that Stephen Kingy like small town, like white America thing.
Definitely not a town I want to be in past 2:00.
Dude, they
You
stopped
think it's a
selling.
sundown town?
They stopped selling beer in that town at like 8.
In the morning.
What?
they're, they're only they only sell it for an hour.
They
7
open at 7.
7
Stop
to 8.
selling beer at 8.
That's all you get.
Damn, that'd be
That's
crazy.
bad. I mean, then you would just have to stock up in an hour.
Yeah.
We'd have to just taking shooters, just line them up. And then they get to the hotel, and then that's when shit I feel like really starts to unravel. Because that's when Linda kind of becomes not the main character, but she starts elevating like the horror aspect because she's like Sutter Cane's editor, so she knows his books like front to back. And she gets to the hotel and she's like, this hotel looks so familiar. Like there was like exotic plants in that garden, but then they all turned to monsters. And he's like, what are you? And Trent's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, this is Hobbs End. Like, this is the hotel from, what is it? Like Murder at Hobbs End.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get in and she's like, yeah, the old lady like kills her husband with an axe. And she's like, look behind me. There's a painting with like a couple walking on a thing. And then you're like, oh shit, like this is cool. They're like in like a Twilight Zone kind of like episode. And then the old lady, I like her. She's the grandma on Little Nicky.
Yeah.
That's
you can-
right.
And Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore.
No, and Happy
Oh,
Gilmore. Not Little Nicky, Happy
yeah.
Gilmore.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore. That's where I recognized her from. Nice.
And then I like how while they're checking in, like Sam Neill's character, Trent, is kind of just like oblivious, and he's like, "Oh, like, selling my credit card, what do I do?" And she's like, "Oh, you city folk." And every time Linda looks back, the painting's like changed, like slightly, like the couple's doing something different. I was like, "Oh, that's creepy."
Yeah, it was cool to get a different perspective because I think at this point, John is still like, even though he read all 3 books in one sitting, he's not tripping out to the extent that Linda's tripping out at this point. I mean, plus it seems like she was driving all night just based on
Yeah.
based on their travel. So.
Well, then I think what we learned about John's character too is like he is like a skeptic at heart. It seems like. So like he's going into this being like, this is weird. Like, oh yeah, this is the hotel. Like, oh, what a coincidence. Oh, this town that doesn't exist. Oh, look, we found it. Not only does it exist, but like it's a whole fucking town. Like, it's like, oh, look, it even has a hotel that looks exactly like the hotel from the book. He's like, okay, like he's got his guard up. Like, there's something fishy going on here, but he doesn't believe that it's something like horror-y. And then he even tries to prove her wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's still doing his insurance claim stuff. Yeah, his investigation. So it makes sense that he's trying to, rationalize everything that she's saying.
Yeah, he even like tries to prove her wrong when he's like, if this is so much like those books, how come there's not a big black church right there? And she's like, oh, you didn't read closely. The church is in the east. And then they open the window, and then you see that church. That church was gnarly looking.
Yeah, that church is actually really cool.
Yeah, the black church.
It's a real church. So it's
Where?
a Russian Orthodox church out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
No way.
They just found it. It's just they didn't build it. It's just a Russian Orthodox church out in the middle of nowhere. I'm guessing
found
the
it.
Russian immigrants came to the States and built a church.
Like no one's claimed this church.
No, it's part of Russian Orthodox. So it's like Russian Orthodoxy is like a type of Christianity.
Yeah, no, but you said that they just found it. Like they were just like, look at this church.
I mean, found it as in like maybe somebody was driving around and they're like, hey, this is a cool church you could use for like set. And he's like, Carpenter's like, yeah, it's like in the middle of nowhere. It's not like it's just like in this random place.
Nice.
Yeah, the architecture of that church is pretty crazy, especially for it being in the middle of nowhere.
It is an intimidating looking church.
Yeah.
Like if someone was like, oh, come on, we're going to church. You're like, all right, fuck it. Like family tradition. And they took me to that church. I'm like, bro, am I about to be sacrificed right now? What is this?
I wouldn't step foot anywhere near that church.
That church is intimidating.
Yeah, I don't believe, but I don't know. I don't know about going inside there.
Yeah, that church is bad vibes. And then this is when we meet Sutter Cane, right?
Yeah, there's a little boy in there at first. He's like standing at the door, and there's like a group of adults that are trying to get the boy to come out of the church, and then the door starts closing.
It's like a hillbilly gang. It's like a bunch of country folks showed up in their pickup trucks with like a bunch of shotguns. One dude just has a 2x4. Like they're ready to fuck shit up. And they're just yelling. He's like, Kane, give us back our children. That was cool because I was like, what the fuck? This dude's abducting kids. And I at this point I was like, oh, so he's like crazy. He is a cult leader. Like he took this like town by like he took over this town. Like this is his town now.
He does get like a sick ass entrance where the door opens and there's wind blowing in his hair and his hair is blowing and he's standing like sideways with his arms crossed, just smiling.
Yeah, he looks cool. He looks creepy.
Yeah.
And then he has that army of like Doberman pinchers.
Yeah, why is it always Dobermans for the like the evil people? What is it about Dobermans?
I think they're from Germany. I think they're Nazi dogs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then.
And they're trained as like guard dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty strong. They're pretty fast.
If I was a villain, I would like to have like a mob of Chihuahuas.
A mob of Chihuahuas. What is this? A fucking Spy Kids 5? What are you talking about? A mob of Chihuahuas.
Yeah, I'm trying to break the stereotype. We can't keep stereotyping dogs.
I'm gonna get you in a pitch room with this one.
I'm gonna have a mob of Chihuahuas dressed like Mad Max characters.
This vaguely sounds like a spin-off to Beverly Hills Chihuahua. Feels like the post-apocalyptic one that was at straight to video.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson voices the main character.
Mel Gibson.
So this part was pretty cool, I thought, because like it raised the tension, and then you're like, oh shit. So Sutter Cane is real, and like he's not like who he appears to be because he turned from a little kid into like a full-grown man that commands like an army of Dobermans, and he did have all these kids. Like they run away, right? And then they come across the like group of kids, and they look all fucking deformed.
I mean, I think only one. Only the main one that was like, you're my mom. It's mommy's day.
That I wrote that down. You know what today is? It's mommy's day. That was like, okay. God damn it, Carpenter. God damn it. I gotta look this up as we go like throughout doing more episodes. Maybe we'll come across it when we do something newer. But like, when did they decide one-liners were like not necessary for horror movies anymore? Because holy shit, you know what today is? Mommy's day. What a line. What a line.
Chills down my spine.
I would be terrified if a child ran up to me and said that.
I mean, if I was Sam Neill, I would have been relieved. Like, it's not my day today.
Well, he wasn't there during that time.
That's right. He wasn't there. He wasn't there during Mommy's day.
Oh, he was at the bar.
He was at the bar.
He was drinking with that other dude.
Yeah, John, because he figures out that Sutter Cane was supposed to be sent away. Sutter Cane was supposed to be sent away as like a publicity stunt, but then
that's right, because he actually admits it to him.
He actually like disappears. And
that's right. So we got our scenes combined. That's right. They go to the church. All that shit happens with the Dobermans.
Mm-hmm.
Then they leave, right? Then they have an argument, and he's like, and then she admits, he's like, no, you're totally correct. This was going to be a publicity stunt, but the dude never showed up. But I'm telling you, what's going on here is real. Like, this isn't a publicity stunt. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then he's like, oh, fuck this place. I'm leaving. And then that's when she like sneaks out behind him and goes back to the church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's when the whole Mommy's Day thing happens.
Yeah, and then you find out that dog is a 3-legged dog.
I think during the time when he's going to go to the bar, he goes over to the front to see Miss Pickman, the hotel.
That's right. And her husband's handcuffed.
The hotel lady, and she's like, she keeps looking down and like kicking something down below. And then Linda sneaks out behind John to go back to the church. And then John runs after her, and it cuts back to Miss Pickman, and she's like kicking somebody and yelling at somebody, and it's her husband in his underwear, handcuffed to her ankle. Was it?
Yeah. That was
Some
pretty
real
funny.
That was wild.
BDSM stuff.
Yeah, Miss Pickman get freaky. You know,
Gets
old people
after it.
get freaky like that. So
I mean, they have
do.
to. They got to spice things up.
yeah,
Things get dull when you're that old.
And then that's when she comes in contact with Sutter Cane, and he comes in contact with the like main father who was trying to get the kids back while they were at the bar, right? And he basically tells them like, you got to get out of this place.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then he's like, oh yeah, sure, you're a good actor, blah blah blah. And this dude's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. You got to get the fuck out of here. And then she comes in contact with Sutter Cane, and then that's when we find out his story is real, right? That what he writes comes to life, that he didn't create these stories. They were like,
Well,
he's like a portal to like distribute them.
well, he originally created the stories, and so many people were reading it and giving it attention that it unlocked a door
In the
that
church.
in the church that basically made all of these things that he was writing real. So
That door was crazy.
they kind of like caused each other like.
But I thought he said that it was that he thought it was all stories, but it turns out everything he wrote was real. That he too originally thought that they were stories, and then he realized he was like a vessel for whatever, like some evil or something. And then I think that by writing these stories, he was powering the evil so they would eventually be able to like break out.
Yeah. The old ones, right?
Yeah, the old ones. And I think that's where you get like the like Lovecraftian, right? Isn't the Chulu like an old one?
Yeah, that's like a common Lovecraft idea that's in like all of his stories. He calls them the old ones. And yeah.
Like these ancient, like primordial beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. The breathing door. It's like fucking going inhaling in and out. And it's got like chains and shit on it, and it looks like real worn. And then he says he's writing the new Bible, and he like makes her read it. And I think it's cool because I felt like this is like she sees all those images, right? And it kind of makes her go crazy. And it kind of reminded me of another Sam Neill. It kind of reminded me of like Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you
like,
see?
Yeah. It was kind of like that. I was like, oh man, this dude likes his like apocalypsy, like door into hell type of horror movies. It's just crazy because before Event Horizon and I guess this movie, I just knew Sam Neill as like Dr. Grant from fucking Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And like, other small roles that were like less successful. But I didn't know. I'm like, oh, this dude does horror movies. Like that's cool. So that's cool.
Start somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I wrote what's with Sam Neill in the hell dimensions?
That's what we all had. We all had the same thought. It's true though. I think the hell dimension in Event Horizon is a little better than this one, but I think Event Horizon probably had a bigger budget.
Yeah, I feel like they could have
different.
touched more onto this
this aspect
this
of
world.
it.
Yeah,
but because they were taking from like Lovecraft's ideas, and a lot of what Lovecraft writes, it's like you can't even describe it because it's so indescribable, and so they couldn't like. I think that's why they couldn't show as much as they could, because like how do you describe something that's indescribable? Like
I see that, and I think there's a horror element in itself.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of like It, where it's like it takes the form of a spider because his real form is like incomprehensible by the human mind. That if you were to see it, you would immediately like go comatose.
Yeah,
I think like Lovecraft kind of has that same idea. Like the human mind can't describe the things that the old ones are like these dimensions are.
Yeah,
I think that added like a good mystery to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think this aspect of the movie I think was my favorite. I think when it really starts to build and shit really starts to hit the fan, I think that's where the movie picked up, and I was like, okay, this movie's pretty cool. Because at first I was like, oh, it's pretty good. Like what I expected. It's a little bit more of a slow burn. I think the ending sequence is pretty good.
They don't really touch on this anymore, but that's the Voldemort aspect of Sutter Cane. You guys remember that?
What does he do?
So Linda is like, she's being caressed by him, right? And then he turns her around and they start making out, and she's like, she has her hands behind his head, and behind his head is
Oh yeah,
like a whole nother being.
that was crazy. That never comes back.
No,
It doesn't. No.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. So he's being controlled by like these demon creatures. Like that's why all this is happening. But then that isn't referenced again. And I'm like, oh, was that just like a creep out factor? Because it was cool.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of, what's that Schwarzenegger movie? When they go to Mars.
I don't know. Ghost of Mars?
Total Recall?
Oh, Total Recall? Did
'Cause
they go to
there's
Mars in Total
Did they
Recall?
go to Mars? And I just
Total
remember that
Recall
movie with the 3 boobs.
It takes place in Mars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's like one of the main guys, like he looks like a normal dude and he opens like a trench coat and there's like a little dude that like is like fused to him. That's what it reminded me of.
It reminded me of Malignant also, and
Oh yeah.
Harry Potter, but that was the first thing that came to mind was Voldemort.
That's funny. And then I think a lot of after this point, like shit really starts hitting the fan, right? That's when Sam Neill's character, like he comes in contact with Linda and she's like batshit by this point, and he's like, we're getting the fuck out of here. And like you see Mrs. Pickman is like turned into like a thing like creature.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
like,
painting too, it changes into like the weird creature things.
That's true. And then there's one in the garden. Is that Miss Pickman or is that just a separate creature?
I think those are the flowers in the garden that transformed into monsters.
That's right. That's right. And then he goes back to the bar and the bar's like all fucked up.
And I think the dad is in there and he's still telling him to leave, and then he shoots himself.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then it was cool too, because he's like, no, don't do it. He's like, I have to do it. This is the way my character was written. And you're like, oh shit. It's like everything that's happening this way is because Sutter Cane wrote it to happen this way. And that's how and then he keeps trying to leave the town and he keeps like the kid on the bicycle. He just can't. He keeps ending up in front of that mob.
Mm-hmm.
Then he fucking knocks out Linda to try and like get her home.
Don't they? I think as he's trying to escape and he keeps Groundhog Day. I think he crashes eventually, right?
He does, because he just finally he's just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna drive through the mob. And then the mob opens up and it's Linda at the end, and he like freaks out and he turns and then he crashes. And then doesn't he wake up in the black church?
He wakes up in the church and then
in the confession booth.
Yeah, the confession booth.
Yeah, and then Sutter tells him everything that's going on, and he tells him about the old ones, and that Cain,
he's writing the new Bible.
And that it outsold the Bible. I think that's when it gets referenced that he was outselling the Bible, so that's why it's the new Bible, and all these people are giving it power. And then he does the craziest thing in the fucking movie, and he rips himself out of the dimension into another dimension.
That was cool.
I thought that was the craziest thing. It's a cool concept because he like rips a portal into the dimension of the old ones. But it looks like he like literally tears like a page out, and it's himself. He teared himself out.
One thing that happened a little before that I thought was pretty cool is when he tells Trent, he's like, well, you're here like this because he's like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, you're here because I wrote you to be here. He's like, think about it. Did you ever exist before me? And I'm like, oh shit. Was Trent like, is he not a real person? Was he created by Sutter Cane? Because that's the question that he poses towards him, right? He tells Trent, he's like, I created you. Like your whole role in this is like a creation by me. There wasn't like John Trent before they needed to be like find Sutter Cane. Like you're the main character in my new book. And then he's like, no, that's bullshit. And then he rips himself. And then that's when Linda starts like reading from the manuscript. And she's like, oh, John and Chris is like the empty void. He looks over and like what he sees are these swells of like, I'm like, oh, that's pretty creepy. And then he's like, oh, fuck it. And then he just starts like booking it. He's being chased by those monstrosities.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought
that whole part was cool.
Yeah, and one thing also that's really cool is that each time they read segments from the book, they're actually reading segments from Lovecraft's actual stories. So
that's true. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I think
so
I wrote that down. There's a couple quotes in there that are like direct Lovecraft quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I thought that was a really dope like addition to what was going on.
Agreed. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I wish, it's just me wanting more. Like, I thought it was going to be a creature feature. I wish they kind of touched more on the creature aspect of it. Just because when they're chasing him down that corridor, like the practical effects of those creatures were pretty cool.
Interesting that you said that, because I thought the creatures looked cool, but at the same time, I was like, these practical effects do not look as good as The Thing, and The Thing came out in 1982. Like, this was 12 years older. But they were creepy. Like, I like the way they look, but I felt compared to other Carpenter's work, the special effects weren't as good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the old lady when she turns into her
creature,
that one was
really plasticky looking.
That was bad. Yeah,
that one wasn't
definitely
good.
Like C movie, fucking sci-fi.
The creatures
12 p.m.
that chased them down, I thought looked a lot better.
Yeah,
it was done by a group called the KNBFX group, and it took them 7 weeks to do all the practical effects for the film. The biggest of which was the 18-foot wall of monsters. It was mounted on rollers and operated by a crew of 25 people.
Damn, that's crazy.
Damn.
So that's the wall that's chasing him at the end?
Yeah, that's the big wall.
That was cool. I like that part, and I like how he ends up back in the real world. And I think this last like final few scenes, I thought was pretty cool, because I liked how he's like, he just becomes like a bum, like he's just like broken after this.
Yeah,
like, he's like,
you see him spiral. Like,
yeah,
there's a couple things that happen to like aid into his spiral. Like,
yeah, when he's on the bus.
When he's on the bus,
and he's like, "Did I ever tell you that my favorite color is blue?" And then everything turns blue. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And he just starts yelling.
Yeah, I like the whole. They did it a couple times. The dream within a dream.
Yeah, the dream within the dreams are good.
Yeah, and then when he goes back to the editor's office, and it's revealed. It's revealed that he had never sent him with anyone.
Yeah, Linda doesn't exist.
Yeah, Linda doesn't exist, and that he already dropped off the copy of the book months ago. And it's like, damn,
dude. Like, he months ago, he's like, we had this conversation last year, and I was like, oh shit, like this is like I did not expect that little twist.
Yeah, and then you find out that a movie's coming out and it's going to release like within a couple days.
Yeah, he's like, we got to stop the printing. He's like, dude, the movie comes out like this weekend. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That was cool. I was like, oh shit, Linda didn't exist, and all this shit happened, but like he couldn't get away from the manuscript, because even earlier when he's at the motel and someone just delivers it, and he's like, who brought this? He's like, nobody knows I'm here. I'm like, well, somebody knows you're here. And he tries to burn it, and he does everything he can. Kind of reminds me a little bit about like Season of the Witch, but done good.
Yeah.
Where like him trying to like do everything he can to like stop this plague from being spread. But at the end of the day, it already happened.
Yeah. And then we kind of see, the culmination of everything. Why he was placed in the loony bin to begin with, when he goes up to the bookstore, and by this point in time, he already looks so disheveled and like just bummy. I guess he's dirty. His clothes are ripped.
He looks like
looks fucking
Oh,
insane.
we never touched on this. We said we weren't because he looks exactly like the axe wielding guy.
Oh yeah,
The axe wielding guy was like Sutter Cane's agent, and he read the book and tried his best to stop it from being spread by trying to kill John Trent because he knew that John Trent's role in the book was to basically kickstart the apocalypse by like distributing In the House of Madness to the publisher. And by the end, John Trent looks exactly like the agent looked. He's got the trench coat. He looks crazy. He just pulls out an axe and just fucking axes that dude.
He's like, well, you love this book so much, like, then you should know that this is going to happen, and just fucking murders him. There's a lot of axe deaths in this movie.
There are a lot of axe deaths.
Very axe heavy.
Yeah.
And this movie does a good job, I think, of in the background too, because while he's like disheveled, and when he was talking to the publisher and like during that whole time period, there's little like tidbits that you hear about like riots and like people kind of going crazy. So like, but like, and it's cool because I thought it was weird. I'm like, damn, this happened like really fast. Like from like when the book came out to people going crazy, and then you learn like, oh no, like the book's been out for months already. And then the movie's about to come out. So like it started small and it's getting bigger and bigger, and now like news coverage is covering it. And then when he finally ends up in the loony bin, and the guy like is talking to him, and he's like, oh yeah, this dude's crazy. Like he can't help us. And then you're like, oh shit. And then he's like, oh, he's still hallucinating. And then the fucking loony bin gets like taken over by those monsters. That was cool.
And nighttime. Yeah. I think after that conversation, Dr. Wren leaves. I think nighttime happens, and John hears all kinds of ruckus outside of his room. And then he wakes up the next morning and finds out that everybody's gone.
Everyone was killed but him.
Yeah.
And then what'd you think about the ending when he goes to the movie theater?
And he goes to check out the movie, and he sees himself. It's literally, isn't it just?
It's our movie. It's the movie we're watching.
Yeah, it's our movie. Yeah, it just cuts, and so he's watching it, and he starts crying and laughing, and then it ends.
And then it ends. I thought the ending was pretty good. I thought it was cool. Like, it had that like, oh, so now that you're watching the movie, you're gonna go mad too, because like this is in the Mouth of Madness. Like, I was like, oh, that's cool. That was cool. It's a cool little twist.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty. I thought it was a good way to end it. Kind of bring it all full circle, explain everything that was happening, and then show us the movie itself.
So, what did you guys think of the movie overall? So, critically, I saw that when it came out, it did not get like good reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 53%. IMDb gave it a 7.1. Roger Ebert, who was like the shit back then, he gave it 2 stars out of 4, which is pretty bad. But most modern critics, I feel like with most of the movies that we've been looking at, the Season of the Witch episode probably might not get put up on the main feed, but if you subscribe to the Patreon, you could get it there. It's more one of our raw cuts. But I feel like a lot of these movies I give the people what they want, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. We're gonna put that one. We're gonna archive that one. Put it behind the paywall.
I mean, that one was a good one. So
don't say the diehards.
And it was literally our first one. So yeah,
it was. The audio quality's garbage. You're paying money for bad audio.
Yeah, sorry.
Like it.
Well, you're supporting us, so it'll be good.
But I feel like with that movie, with Season of the Witch, another Carpenter produced film, like at the times they got panned, but it feels like modern audiences are more forgiving. Curious as to like why that is. Maybe some of the like rose tinted glasses. You grew up watching the movie, because I know there's movies I saw as a kid that I thought were great, and then like later found out like, oh no, most people thought that movie was fucking garbage when it came out. Like Little Nicky's considered horrible, but I think that movie's hilarious. But I don't know. I wonder what it is. But me personally, I like the movie. I give it a solid, say it's like an 81%. It's like a B- on my scale.
Yeah, I guess. Let me see what I wrote here. Overall grade B-. Look at that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I mean, it was a good movie. Kind of to touch on like the whole critic part. I feel like if you're a critic and you're going into the movie like trying to pick it apart, you know, for criticism's sake. Like, of course, you're gonna find bad things about it, and of course, it's not like the most perfectly written movie, but it was enjoyable. It was a fun watch. Like some crazy like cosmic shit happened. Sam Neill plays a great paranoid schizophrenic, or you know, whatever he is. I don't know. Yeah, I graded a B minus. If you subscribe to the Patreon and you end up listening to Season of the Witch, also gave that movie a B minus. I feel like they're both kind of equal in that aspect.
So I feel like this movie and Season of the Witch have a very similar plot structure, and this movie executed it a lot better. I don't know if that's to the fact that maybe the writing was better, or it had John Carpenter like actually directing the movie. Because I feel like these movies, the plots are different, but at the end of the day, it's like bad guy wants to bring the old world chaos to the new world using technology, well, using like another medium. There it's a commercial and like witchcraft to like destroy the world, and here it's a book opening a portal to another dimension. I feel like this movie did it better. I felt like it was a little bit more tight.
It was.
The acting was definitely better.
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt? Because I think you probably are highest on the movie than all of us.
Like like I've seen it more times.
Yeah, you've seen it more, so I'm assuming that you like the movie.
I do. Yeah, I actually like the movie. I give it a solid B.
B?
Yeah. I think I really like Sam Neill. I think he's
I like Sam Neill,
great.
Yeah.
And I love cosmic horror, so this is like right in my niche of like horror stuff. I think when it comes to like grading movie, like Anthony said during the time, like you're gonna like find stuff if you're gonna look for it. But I think maybe I could potentially see maybe just like my cynic inside talking that like as we get older, we kind of just tend to appreciate like the not good stuff, or we tend to kind of lean more towards like liking things that make us feel not too good. Like the bad guys
like
winning,
IPAs.
like IPAs.
They
Yeah,
do give me a headache, but I do like the way they taste.
yeah, same. So I think that could potentially be like a reason why we see bad movies or movies that were received originally like really bad come back as like a cult classic like this one, because this is like so many, it's on a bunch of different lists as like a straight up like cult classic movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. It definitely has that cult classic following. Like, I mean, like I'm not like a crazy cinephile, but I do like my movies, and we all do. Hence why we're doing the podcast. But I had never heard of this movie before, and like I like, and when I saw that, like, oh, it's by John Carpenter, I was like, oh shit, a John Carpenter movie. Like I've never heard of. Like, there's plenty of John Carpenter movies that I've heard of but haven't seen, but I've never like heard of this one like even a little bit. And then when I saw the cast, I'm like, oh shit, Sam Neill's in it, fucking Charleston Heston. Like, these are actors that I really like, and I had no idea what this movie was even remotely about. And then I feel like this is a good, since I did see the trailer before I watched it, like don't judge a book by its cover, because the trailer was the original trailer from the 90s. Holy fuck, that trailer was fucking stupid. It was like, don't be afraid of what you read. I was like, okay, simmer down. It's not, the books aren't.
I mean, I feel like trailers like that.
Well, I feel like this was the time, right?
Well, because nowadays I feel like a trailer just releases too much information.
It does. There was not a lot of information in this one.
Like you practically see the fucking movie in trailers these days. Like you see any big reveals, you see the plot. It's like watching the movie, but when you get these fucking obscure ass trailers that kind of like make no sense, I don't know. It adds to the allure of the movie because you're like, what the hell is this movie even about?
That's true. That's true. I think it definitely helped to get it, because I went into it like not knowing what I was going to watch. It's like, okay, I don't really know what this is going to be about. It's about a killer book, I guess. But it was more than that. So that was a nice surprise. But I think to touch on what we were talking about like like reviews in general, and like how from a critic standpoint, like it's not the best movie. I feel like in today's movie sense, a lot of movies, like forgiving it because it's like a B movie, like it's like, oh, it's a B movie, it's supposed to be bad, isn't necessarily a good excuse. Because like you see like movies like Hereditary and Midsommar and movies like that are like, they're horror movies, but they have that critical acclaim. Like you can make a good movie without having the campy shit. And I feel like maybe nowadays, because this is a horror movie, like horror movies don't really stray from that. They either try to do like the high end Hereditary stuff, or they do this like pay homage type of stuff. But I think you're correct, because like I look at like a movie like Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Great movie.
If that movie came out in the 90s, it probably would have been panned as being kind of stupid. But because like I feel like the conversation of movies aren't as like artsy fartsy as they used to be, at least the way like most people view them, because of maybe the internet, you get more acceptance.
Yeah, that and I think like just how media is kind of taken in these days, you know, like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, that was like a Netflix drop. So
That's
like if
true.
you had Netflix, like you're not paying for these movies. Back then, like the only way to see a movie was to pay for the movie.
That's true. I guess that goes into the go ahead, Matt.
And I think I thought we had a conversation about this, but like movies now, it seems like they have to be made to make profit.
Money? Yeah.
And so like things like Hereditary come out where it's like not just a horror movie, it's like a really well written like movie about trauma that has horror blended into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so much more in depth, and like the genre movies now have to be like that because they have to make money. So like you can't just pump out like something like this anymore. It's definitely, I think,
They're
like
definitely safer, huh?
Yeah, we've just like evolved as like consumers and as creators, to where we are always looking for something that's going to be like the next huge, big horror kind of thing. I mean, when it comes to like horror, you know, talking about horror itself, just like that was so
That's
comparing something like this to like Hereditary or like any type of horror from like the 80s or 90s, you know, it's kind of hard, because I think it's just completely different, like the realm that we have now.
But then every once in a while comes a movie like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I have not seen that movie.
True. That's
Is
true.
that a movie we need to cover?
I think
I think it became an instant cult classic for sure. I mean, they're already filming a
sequel. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
well,
I think that's true. There are still people who are trying to have fun, and I think that's a good one. Or Terrifier.
Ooh.
Terrifier's another.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of, you know, doing it just to. It seems like they're doing it just to do it.
Yeah.
Kind of movies, and yeah, I forgot about that. Those
that's
still exist.
That's a good point, because I don't know if you guys seen Smile, but I feel like Smile was kind of marketed as being like this is like a Hereditary, like a high end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a pretty big budget. I mean, they had people smiling on like live sporting events, which was never done before. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, I thought Smile was a cool movie. I didn't get like the critical reviews, but I liked it. I saw it at the $2 theater. I was like, oh, this is cool. It's creepy.
The ending was pretty crazy. I like that ending.
The ending was crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. This has been another episode of Cult of the Living Dead. I have been your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Twan and Saya. Catch us next week as we cover The Big Lebowski. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.